Yeah, so I got into sports analytics. I've been playing since I was a kid, and numbers were always just coming to me. It was really like my skill at school. I was just good with numbers. And then there was this day on Twitter, someone had posted an article to a Tulski piece looking at, it was Andrew McDonald and the targets against him on zone entries and percentages of breakups, how much was targeting him versus his partner. Yeah, and I just realized it was something that I could see myself doing, just analyzing the game in such a detailed way. It was something I'd never seen before. And then I went to the OddHack, Ottawa Hockey Analytics Conference in 2017. And that was really eye-opening, just going there and being in a room full of people that were into hockey, that were into the numbers. It was just a dream for me to do, really. Yeah, so thanks for the question, Julian. It's funny that you asked me because I actually refed for 5.5 years, so I'm definitely going to be a little biased on this one. I like the human aspect of the game, having that little bit of error. Refereeing for me is more game management than just calling every infraction as the game goes on. So could that be programmed into an AI? I guess it's possible. I certainly wouldn't want to see it completely gone. Maybe if you're just doing something like an offside, that could be automated, no problem. But for me, I love having the human aspect there. And then for part two, I wish I could talk more about what our amazing CV guys are doing, because I'd say the future really isn't all that far off. We're pretty close already. Yeah, thanks, Peter. So I mean, I hope they're using it top to bottom, from roster composition, drafting, trades, contracts, all that, all the way to what's going on the ice, evaluating players, matchups, strategies. And then yeah, you can definitely see, even I think last year Chris had tweeted something out along the lines of, look at who's at the top in our XG model and look at who's at the top of the standings right now. So there's definitely a correlation between the teams that are going for it and the ones that aren't. Yeah, thanks, Connor. So for me, definitely, I can't see a game without face-offs. I know that there was some talk about it last year. Let's just remove face-offs altogether. But you're on the ice, you need that stoppage. So I definitely go for face-offs. Shootouts, they're fun, but I like 3-on-3 better personally. So let's go that route. Yeah, thanks, Simon. So for me, I guess I'm a bit biased. I want to assume that the average fan has some understanding, even if it's very basic. Certainly I'd recommend checking out something like The Point if they wanted to learn more, but I don't think necessarily like they need to be into analytics to be a fan of the game. If they're enjoying it, then that's awesome. Yeah, so I mean, if they want that deeper understanding, they want to know who's doing well, they want to study a certain part of the game, a certain part of a player's game, analytics is going to be the answer. Thanks, Ian. So I actually looked into it a little bit just to see what the numbers look like. So since the NHL started tracking face-offs, year by year, if you're cutting it at, let's say, 200 face-offs per season, Perreault ranks in the top 10 5 times. And he's up at 64-65% face-off win percentage. So has there been someone as dominant, at least numbers-wise, if you're looking at face-off win percentage? I don't think so. Is that the most important stat to me? No. I can promo my face-off talk last year at Sloan. Win percentage is important, but you want to look at the directions, you want to look at it, was it clean, things like that. Now, why hasn't there been anyone as dominant as Perreault? It's possible the rules changed. It's possible he just studied more than anybody else, adding on to whatever skill he had going in. I didn't really watch him a lot growing up, so I can't comment on the specifics. But it was definitely cool to see him pop up that many times in the top 10. Yeah, thanks, Lorenzo. So definitely passes off the rush are going to be easier than off non-rush situations, just because there's less defenders in the way, there's less sticks that you have to get around. In terms of working it to the slot, yes, absolutely, go for it every chance you get. If there's an opening, that's where you're going to get most of the goals from. You hear Mike Kelly talk about it all the time. This is the home area, this is where you want to be getting to. Thanks, Jeff. So if you're not following the point, you got to be following the point. I wish something like that was around back when I was younger and I was following the game. It's incredible what they're doing in terms of breaking things down in such a clear way, making it so palatable to understand, and just look at the numbers and really get a feeling for what's going on. Aside from the point, I mean, Hockey Graphs is great. There's a lot of good work coming out of there. A lot of good people doing a lot of good things. If you're into reading, I mean, there were 2 hockey abstract books by Volman, as well as the book by Stimson. If you're more like me and you're into podcasts, all sports, I'd say there's measurables and counterpoints. And then specific to hockey, there's things like the TSN Hockey Analytics podcast, there's the PDO cast, there's the staffing graph. I might be missing some, but there's a lot of good resources out there. Yeah, thanks, Clayton. So my advice would be, you really want to get your name out there. So if you're on Twitter, great. If you're blogging, even better. If you can submit things to conferences, that's fantastic. There's a lot of really great stuff going out there. And then just reach out to people. I've had a ton of people hit me up on LinkedIn or on Twitter. They have questions. They want me to look at their stuff. Go for it. What's the worst? You don't hear back and then you move on to the next person. The other thing I'd say is maybe not at the pro level, because a lot of teams are filled up with their staff, but if you want to go the college routes or you want to go AHL, something like that, maybe there are spots there. Reach out to their GMs, reach out to the people that are posted online. You never know.